It is 12262025, December 26th, 2025. I'm Justin. J Boogie streams Monday through Friday, Monday 8 through 10, Tuesday 7 through 9, Wednesday through Friday 8 through 10. I'm here. We're live. I'm talking on Rumble. We're doing our thing. And yeah, the world's getting the world's getting a whirlin', you know. So I think last night I had a crazy dream last night. My dream last night was crazy. Like I was in a building somewhere, and then for some reason it had a bunch of bathrooms in it, but the bathrooms were like crazily designed. Like the bathrooms were huge, and like I was in a it was like almost like a mall type setting, and I was trying to escape out of the mall, and I couldn't escape out the mall, and I couldn't get out of the mall because like it was just really weird. You go in a bathroom, and the bathrooms had like a bunch of like turns and angles in it, and a bunch of like stalls and showers. And then you would like, I thought I had the exit to go outside, and then I go out the exit, and then just be back into the mall again. And then like I was asking people like, what's going on here? Like like where's the exit out of this place? And like this place is huge, isn't it? And like no one had like a straight answer how to leave the place, and it was just very strange. And then I got out of the mall at one point. I found the exit because I was freaking out, and I found the exit of the mall, and then like the world was just really weird and like um very strange world. It was just very strange, and there was stuff going on in the world that was very weird. Um, there's like being uh demons being like people's like well like so I was reading Leviticus last night before bed. And in that, it's the God's laws for his people. And what really stuck out to me was the his laws on sexual relationships and how anyone basically who does anything perverse, like sleep with their father's wife or their aunt or vice versa or whatever it is, if you sleep with a mother and daughter, if you sleep with I don't even know what it was, like your aunt, or you sleep with your uncle, or whatever it is, you should be put to death and stoned to death and whatever. And it kind of got me thinking about like the adult the adult entertainment industry and like how bad that really is for people. And it's like when you watch those things and you watch, those kind of videos, like, you know, I used to, I don't do it anymore. So I realize how bad it is for your mental health and like everything. Even though it's not you doing that act, it's not you in those videos, but it's like you're imagining like when you're watching those things, it's like hardening your heart, which hardening your heart makes you or kills your connection with God and Jesus. So it's like you watching those videos and doing those things. It's like and you pleasure pleasing yourself to adult entertainment and like you're watching like supposedly a mother and daughter doing their thing with another man, whatever, and like in the Bible it says that should be put to death for it. It's like it's hardening your heart to those things. Not only that, that then when you finish to it, it's like you're rewarding bad behavior and like to yourself, but you're also like disconnecting yourself from God. So it's like a double-edged sword. It's doing double the damage. And like I always tell myself, is it being done on purpose or are we just that ignorant? Or people just not care? I do not like, because it clearly states in the Bible those things should not be done at all, like how bad they are. Are hardening your heart and making you and killing your connection to the creator and source. So it's like you shouldn't be. I don't know. Those things shouldn't be. I think those type of things should be banned in society. I believe. I think porn, OnlyFans, and all those things should totally be banned in society. Like they should get rid of it. They should ban it. Honestly, it's moral decay of civilization. And even in the Bible, it will tell you that like people are like that. The land's gonna spit them out. or the Lord's going to spit them out because of how bad how bad they are and how bad they taste, basically. Like even says that's why that's why Egyptians were or Egypt was that way, whatever, because of the immoral sexual acts they were doing. Same thing with the United States right now, man. I mean, I'm pretty sure the United States is the number one purveyor of OnlyFans. I'm pretty sure the United States, is the highest. Yeah, the USA is the highest consumer of porn, with the entertainment industry generating an estimated $3 billion annually and attracting more monthly visitors than Netflix, Amazon, and Twitter combined. The country ranks first globally in terms of consumption of whatever sites. Pornhub receives over 42 billion visits annually, and the U.S. has been the largest producer of porn. That's wild to me. The USA is the number one consumer of porn in the world. $3 billion a year spent on porn. It should be banned, dude. United States should ban porn and OnlyFans. All of it should be banned. All of it should be banned. Everything. That's not. I'm not. That's not a joke. I'm not joking. Someone needs to do that. It's destroying society itself. Not only is it destroying society, it's like putting it's killing the connection. It's killing the connection with God, um, with individuals in the United States. It's corrupting kids' minds. I knew, like, growing up as a kid, I couldn't find porn unless, like, someone's dad had a Playboy or something like that. But now think how easy accessible it is for kids these days with internet on everything. The internet is on everything these days. Your cell phone, your refrigerator, your TV, your game systems, your watches, your glasses. At some point, we have to at some point as citizens of the United States, we have to realize that, like, what we're doing is wrong, right? I mean, we can't keep down this path, otherwise there isn't going to be a United States in the next, 20 years, 30 years. This place isn't going to exist. We're going to destroy ourselves by doing immoral things. And the porn thing and the sexual you know, um perversion stuff is just one aspect of it. We're not even touching on alcohol or drug abuse and all those things. Yeah, I don't know what would happen if porn got banned in the United States and we didn't consume it anymore or make any more of it. What would happen? I don't know what would happen. I'm not sure if men would get frustrated and take their anger out, or what would happen. I don't know, and we'll never know because I mean, no one's ever going to be brave enough to step up and that makes laws in Congress or the government to do something like that because they're a bunch of pussies. No one has a backbone in government. They all want to pander and gerrymander to the public to get votes and money, like a popularity contest. It's stupid. It's like government. That's why politics is just like it's all just gerrymandering and doing, and it's just, something's got to change in the U.S. though. Otherwise, we're not going to have United States anymore. I don't think I think people are starting to slowly realize it and starting to come to the fact of it. But man, I don't know. I don't know. People need to wake up pretty quickly though. You got another at least like we got another at least like 25, 30 years for this shit really kicks off, I want to say. I'm telling you. 30 years from now, this stuff's really going to kick off. You think it's bad now? Wait. You wait. We're like I said before on all my streams now, this is the smoke signals of what's happening. This isn't fully what's happening yet. We're seeing it across the globe happening. And now you got, man, it's just crazy. Life's crazy. I feel bad. I mean, I feel sorry for a lot of people out there because they're just so lost in their own lives, and they use and there's and escapism, man, just escapism through porn, through drugs, through smoking weed, through movies, through Netflix, through Disney Plus, all of it, sports. It's all just escapism. No one wants to face reality. No one wants to look around and see what's going on out in the world in front of your eyes and realize that the United States itself is being destroyed and taken away in real time from everyone. It's like it's like that Disney movie Wally, like they're so consumed by everything in front of them, they don't realize like, or is that Wally? I don't know, but people are plugged into the matrix though. And it's not a legitimate matrix. It's not like we're plugged into computer systems on servers. We're not robots. We're humans. But people are plugged into the matrix like this. Oh man. Oh man. Oh. You're staring at this so much you can't see what's going on around you. You don't realize the decay that's happening around your town or around the country or around the states. It's a full frontal attack on the way of our living, and only a few people care about it and want to speak up about it because they're too afraid. Afraid of what? What's going to happen? We're all going to die one day. I'll stand up for it. I agree with you know I do find it strange how every kind of I do find it strange how every kind of race besides white people can, have their own advocate group or advocacy group, whatever, to push their agenda, to push their rights, to get what they want. But when a white person tries to does do it, it's white, white supremacist, you're a Nazi, you're this and that and everything. I also find it strange too. It's like I remember in my like I'm 38 right now, but I remember in my 20s, like you know, you didn't see very many races dating outside their race, and now it's more common than ever. But I also want to I also have a theory too that the algorithm on your cell phones and the things we watch, if you're a white guy, you see more black girls. And if you're a black guy, you see more white girls, and vice versa. And I believe the algorithm itself is doing that on purpose. For what reason? I don't know. I think it's so you don't have individual races, so everyone eventually will be one race. So no one will have their own. No one will be able to have their own advocacy group as designated to a certain kind of race. So at the end of the day, um, no one be able to be like, well, I'm this, you had to give me this, or I'm that, you had to give me, I'm black, you had to give me reparations, or I'm Somalian, you had to give me this, or I'm this, you had to give me that. So like they'll have control, the elites of the world, the big tech, the oligarch, whatever of the world will have complete control of everyone because you won't have races anymore. You won't have anyone saying, I'm this, I want this, I'm this, I want this. It'll all be one big race. So no one will be able to say anything. This isn't like me trying to say anyone's better or anything. This is like, you don't. And I think what happens too is like the other races are being blindsided because they're getting what they want right now. They get the programs, they get the money, they get the government funding, they get all these special treatments, whatever. But they don't realize, like, dude, the system, the system doesn't care. Eventually, We're all going to be under control of the system if you don't stand up to it. But they're blindsided because they're getting special treatment and special things from it. I also believe that's also what's going on too, is that like they're giving, funding programs, the NAACP and all these things, whatever, stuff like that, are getting special treatment and they're getting their way right now. But what happens when everyone's the same race? What happens when everyone's the same race? Then what happens? Then who gets special treatment? No one's going to get special treatment when everyone's the same race, right? Oh, you're all black Mexicans now. No one can say anything. National Association for the Advancement of Color People. Yeah, can you imagine having a national association for the advancements for the advancement of white people? Could you imagine what kind of controversy that would stir up if we changed it to that to NAAWP? You kidding me? You'd so I think everyone's like I said, I'll say it all the time. We're all being every sex. I don't care if you're transgender, straight, gay, whatever it is. You're being psyoped. I don't care what race you are, black, white, whatever it may be. You're being psyoped. I don't care what religion you are. You're being psyoped. You're being brainwashed. All of it for one system of Satan's system, the beast. This is what I'm saying. It's a good versus evil battle. It's not racist. It's not religion. It's not sex. It's good versus evil. Literally, God versus Satan. That's the battle. I think people are blind to it because everyone's so is getting so enticed with all these handouts and all these things and ooh, we're winning. Ha ha ha. Look at the poor white guy. He deserves it type thing. When really I'm we're the ones with the clear mind and the clear conscience trying to warn everyone about what's going on. You know why? Because you're not blinded by all the free shit everyone else is getting. That's why I watch the news. I hear all these things being passed like, oh, lower drug prescriptions, all this stuff, lower this. I don't care, dude. I haven't had to take any prescription drugs since never. I've never had to take prescription drugs in my whole life. You know, I never, I've never. The last time I've been vaccinated was when I was 8 years old. I'm still standing. I'm still alive. And I guarantee you that if I got vaccinated, I would die from it because I haven't had one in over 30 years. So I'm pretty sure I would die if I got vaccinated. So I'll never get one for that fact. I know I'd probably end up dying from it. 100% I would. I know I'd be able to feel it through my body. Like it would be horrible. And nor would I ever let the government tell me what I need to do with my own life either. That's the thing too. You shouldn't the more that's the thing too. Like they don't understand. These people don't understand too. It's like the more you're taking these handouts from the government, and the more you're taking the help from the government, is the more it's letting the foot in the door. And once the foot is in the door, it's game over. They can do whatever they want to you. I'd rather be put in a camp somewhere and die than be controlled by the government and told what I can and can't do. You have to do this. No, I don't. I'm going to do anything. You're an individual. You're a human being on Earth. The government has no right to tell you how to live your life, what you need to do, and all those things. They don't have the right for it. And the fact that many people take vaccinations to keep their jobs and to feed their families and stuff is ridiculous. What happened to my body, my choice? What happened to that? That should go for everyone. That shouldn't just be a woman's right. That should be everyone's right. Everyone's right is my body, my choice. So, but yeah, the more these people, keep on getting handouts and free stuff from the government, the more they're gonna be like, oh, we're winning. This isn't like that's just wrong. It's not how you should look at things. Because in the government's eye, you know, they're not doing it to be nice. They're not doing it to be nice. They're doing it because they want control over you. It's like, I worked for bosses like that before who would I worked for bosses like that before who if you needed something they would give it to you. Like if you needed extra money to pay a bill or like your car broke down or something happened, they would give you those things to they would get you a car. They would give you the money to pay your bill, whatever. But then in return, you would try to leave the place or leave the job and they'd be like, well, whenever that time I gave you that money to fix your car, and they would hold it against you. And that's not helping people. That's like holding people ransom. It's almost like the government's going to be doing to everyone. The government's be doing the same thing basically. Oh, near that time I gave you this, near time I gave you that, and it works. It works. They hold ransom for people for votes. Oh, you still want your monthly check every month? Well, you better vote a certain way, otherwise you won't get your checks anymore. They don't care about you. Don't trust anyone in this world. Seriously. As like a human, as a person, be careful, you shouldn't really trust anyone. People screw each other over all the time. It happens all the time. People screw each other over. Families screw over families. How many times do you see families get destroyed over money, over a business or over anything? Or a parent kills a child, or a child kills a parent, or whatever it may be. Don't trust anyone in this world. You can trust God and Jesus, but to trust God and Jesus, you have to read the Bible and understand what He says and His words. A lot of people don't want to take time out of their busy schedule to do that, right? Lord forbid you take an hour of your day to read the Bible. Woof. How about you stop watching Netflix for an hour and you read the Bible instead and see what happens? It might transform your life for the better. You actually might learn something about this world. Clip that. Nope. Instead, you rather, you know, watch a dumb Marvel movie than read the Bible and actually understand what's going on, and maybe fix your life too. But what do I know, right? I'm just, a guy who streams on Rumble every morning to no viewers. Still, this is, say, I I really do wish the best for people though. I really do. Like I really do wish the best for everyone in this world, and I do want peace in this world, and um, respect each other, and you know, realize that like, we're in a bigger battle of God and Satan, good versus evil here, in a way bigger battle than I think most people realize. That's really going on in this world. And once you read the Bible and you start reading God's word and stuff like that, you see it more and more, and you realize it more and more. It takes you reading the Bible for you to actually know uh, what's happening in this world and what's wrong and what's right. It's like the guy that said, the flood was coming. The flood was coming again. I forget what, I just saw it on X where the guy in Nigeria said a flood. Well, if you read the Bible, you would know that God made a covenant with man to never flood the earth again after the first time it happened. That's what a rainbow is. So like that's right there's a false prophet. And that's like one example of like someone saying something that you should automatically know is false if you read the Bible, because God promised never to flood the earth again. He didn't promise he wouldn't destroy it again. He just said he would never flood it again the way he did. Where are the politicians? Where are the politicians and governors that are going to stand up for American rights and American citizens and push back against what's going on against the Americans? Like where's that at? When is that going to happen? We got to start putting, defending ourselves as Americans and putting things in place and laws in places where we can't be overtaken and overthrown by foreigners and third world countries. Otherwise, it's gonna happen. They want it to. I don't know. They're trying to let it happen right now. Where's that at, huh? Bringing foreigners and third world countries to have cheap labor while giving them free stuff, so they don't complain about the cheap labor they're doing. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of American citizens out there that would work for $16 an hour if they were. Well, they already are, but I'm pretty sure no one would have a problem. No American citizen would have a problem working $16 an hour while they were getting government assistance like food stamps and other things to make up for the cheap cost of labor. Like what? Like okay, like if they were like if someone's like, hey, you want to work in a factory for 8 hours a day, making $17 an hour, but you'll get X amount of money in food stamps a month, and you'll get this, you know, a month, whatever. I'd be like, sure, because it makes up the difference. As long as there's things compensating and making up the difference for Americans to have for cheap labor, whatever. I don't think anyone would complain about that. I don't think anyone would disagree with that. You know, because that's half your money's a lot of your money's going to just trying to eat and feed yourselves. Groceries are still expensive. I don't care what anyone says. So it's like $16 an hour and you get $600 worth of food stamps a month. Well, okay, sure. 'Cause then you're not paying for food, so it's making the difference of things. Or you're getting tax credits for certain things, or whatever it is. But to bring in foreigners from a third world country or whatever and illegal immigrants, and then have them do cheap labor while giving them assistance, government programs. Well, of course they don't mind it. No one's gonna mind it. No American citizen would mind it either if they were getting government assistance while doing cheap labor. Okay, cool. It's very strange. I just don't know what's going on. I still can't tell if it's being done on purpose or it's just our ignorance. I don't know which one. Because it's being done on purpose, that means there's someone, above top pulling the strings, and that's truly, I mean, that needs to stop. But if it's our own ignorance and our own stupidity, then that's a bigger problem. Because then it's like, we're morally corrupt and morally decaying, which is a bigger problem. Because then it's a spiritual problem. Because then that's a bigger battle than just. At least if it's a group of people or individuals, you have a clear direction. You have, a clear sight of vision. He's the main guy. He's up top. But if it's a bigger thing like that, it's like, well, that's a spiritual battle going on independently through individuals, and it's God versus Satan, which is a huge battle. I mean, that's the whole universe. That's a huge battle. That's a bigger battle, which I believe that's what it is. It's the bigger battle of good versus evil, really, more than anything. And it's too, it's like, a lot of people, I think a lot of people have built their lives and their families around, on sand, basically. Because if you have, if you got a girl pregnant in your 20s while you were a certain person, and you create this whole life around them, and all of a sudden you're like, well, I follow God now, I'm a Christian, I do this and this now, blah blah, stuff like that, and your woman doesn't agree with it. Well, good luck with that. That's an uphill battle, you know. That's a huge battle. I also feel like there's a lot of people that built false lives in the United States in this world that are too afraid to change their ways for the kind of chaos and disruption it would cause in their lives and the turmoil that would bring upon them. Yeah, be careful with that with those kind of things. Like I always thought me being single and me being alone was like my biggest downfall and like my weakness when really it was my biggest strength and my biggest upfall is me being single and alone. Because guess what? No one can tell me what to do. I can do whatever I want. I'm free to do whatever I want. You know what I mean? I don't have to worry about shit. I can sit here and read the Bible 5 hours a day, and no one's gonna nag me. No one's gonna tell me to do anything. I always thought me not like really building anything or doing. I live in a house and stuff like that and everything, but still, it's like, um, I'm thankful for it. I'm thankful that I'm alone and have no one. I'm thankful because it gives me full time to do what I want. I could sit here in the morning and stream for 3 hours if I wanted to. If I had a girlfriend or a wife and the kids, whatever, and like all of a sudden I was like, hey, by the way, I'm gonna start streaming. I'm gonna start streaming every morning, and I need everyone to be quiet for 2 hours. I'm gonna stream every morning, blah blah. They'd be like, no, what are you doing? You have different responsibilities. You can't do those kind of things. So I'm also pretty thankful for the situation I'm at and where I'm at right now. So that being said, we'll move on from discussion. And he walks with me, 365 daily devotional from the Daily Bread. It is the 26th today. Christmas rest. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Matthew 11:28. As a boy, I delivered newspapers in order to earn money. Since it was a morning newspaper, I was required to get up at 3 o'clock every morning, 7 days a week, in order to have all 140 of my papers delivered to their appropriate homes by 6 a.m. But one day each year was different. We would deliver the Christmas morning newspaper on Christmas Eve, meaning that Christmas was the only morning of the year I could sleep in and rest like a normal person. Over the years, I came to appreciate Christmas for many reasons, but one that was special in those days was that, unlike any other day of the year, it was a day of rest. At that time, I didn't fully understand the meaning of the true rest the Christmas brings. Christmas came so that all who labor under the weight of a law that could never be fulfilled might find rest throughout the forgiveness Christ offers. Jesus said, come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. In a world that is too much for us to bear alone, Christ has come to bring us into a relationship with Him and give us rest. Our soul finds rest when it rests in God. Yeah, I come to realize that too. It's like that's why you that's why you rest on Sundays and you work 6 days a week. You work nonstop 6 days a week. You give it your all. You don't stop. You don't quit. And on the on Sundays, I'm laughing because I've come to realize it because I do it now. And on Sundays, when you rest on Sundays, it feels totally different because you feel like you've earned it, and it's like a true rest. You know, I get up 7 a.m., stream for 2 hours, go to the gym, come home, have lunch, edit the videos, make clips, go to work, close the restaurant, come home, go to sleep, wake up, stream, gym, edit, lunch, work, sleep. And I do those things 6 days a week. I'm constantly working 6 days a week, even though this doesn't seem like work. This is the fun part. Me streaming is the fun part. The work comes when I edit the videos and make the clips and post them online. This is still work. I'm still trying to create something here and still trying to, make a living and do streaming and all those things. Like this is still a job. I consider what I do here as a job. Even though I'm not getting paid for it, I'm spending 2 hours streaming and then 4 hours editing a video. That's 6 hours a day I'm making content. So that's a job. Plus I'm working 8 hours at my other job. So that's 15 hours right there. No, sorry, it's 14 hours. Plus I go to the gym for 2 hours. So that's 16 hours of me constantly working. And then I 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. No, I sleep for 8 hours. So I'm working 16-hour days, 6 days a week. And then I rest on Sundays. And I wouldn't have it any other way right now. This is what I like to do. But I'm working 16-hour days, 6 days a week. And then you rest on Sundays because you earned it. A Leader's Heart. A Leader's Heart. 365 Daily Devotional. A Leader's Heart. This is a good book too. Heads you win, tails you lose. So he shepherded them according to the integrity of his heart, and guided them by the skillfulness of his hands. Psalms 78:72. David's leadership succeeded through a two-sided coin, his hands and his heart. Our outward skill and inward integrity. Every great spiritual leader must have this combination. David's excellent leadership commanded both heart and art. To have one without the other leads to failure. Consider the following list of 11 keys to excellence aimed at helping us develop our leadership skills today. Leaders must value excellence, not settle for average, pay attention to detail, remain committed to what really matters, display integrity and sound ethics, show genuine respect for others, go the second mile, demonstrate consistency, never stop improving, always give 100%, make excellence a lifestyle. Which of these keys stand out the most to you? Make excellent a lifestyle. Number 11 for sure stands out to me. Because it's like I said, like I'm doing right now, just constant pounding, constant work, constant commitment, constant creating, and staying consistent in everything I do, in all that I do, and not stopping, and keep on going, and keep on doing it, and keep on pushing, no matter what the day, no matter what the time, no matter what the circumstance, no matter what I'm going through. We're always striving to be better than we were the day before, no matter what happens. We're always going for it. So that's the first one. Make excellent a lifestyle. Always give 100% is a good one. Never stop improving. I mean, they're all good. Go the second mile. I like that one. Show genuine respect for others is a good one too. That's hard to do. Showing genuine respect to others is a hard one to do, especially when others are being disrespectful. That's a hard one. If your life was only you in it, and like you went to work and it was just you working, it'd be a lot easier. The difficult and the challenges life is, dealing with other people and working with other people. Even though it's challenging and difficult, it helps you learn and grow and be a better person, because to be a better person, you have to go through difficult times in life. You have to learn what you're made of. You have to test your grit. You have to test your durability in life. And that's how you learn and grow in life, is by doing those things, by being pushed to your limit by other people and testing yourself. I can't sit here and say I'm a good person, I do these things, whatever. But if no one ever tests you on it, other people test you on your goodness. When I go to work and I say I'm a good person, I respect others, and I go to work and someone's being disrespectful to me or being hurtful towards me, well then it tests me on how good I actually am as a person. Because then it's a test being sent your way. Like, oh, you think you're a good person? You think you know how to handle situations and how to deal with people? Here, deal with this, And the universe gives you a test, or God gives you a test. So dealing with other people is a blessing and a curse, I guess. Because even me streaming, it's like me streaming. Someone could leave a comment or talk in this chat that challenges my viewpoints, of how I am and what I say, and that's a test. So you're always being tested. Even if you're alone, God's still going to test you. He'll test you in silence to make sure, you're strong and stable, ready and able. I've been going through that a lot lately. It's just the silence of life, you know, and not falling back to my old habits of smoking weed, smoking cigarettes, or drinking booze. Because like when I'm feeling good and I know I'm doing good, like I get overwhelmed and like I want to like enjoy myself and reward myself. And I used to do that by being like, oh, I'll smoke a cigar or I'll go buy a beer or whatever it is. So now when I feel that kind of way, I don't do any of that stuff anymore. But it's hard for me to find something else to do to replace it with because I'm so used to doing it the other way. Everyone has a good weekend, do something fun, go out there, see your friends, see your family. And until next time, as always, may peace be with you. Take care of yourself, take care of others. I'm Justin. I love you. Peace.